Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hello. Good to see all of you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, I'm going like that. There we go. It is great to see all of you. We are thrilled that you are here. SHM Sunday Song Session. It is Nifty's best. Nifty's best. Gotta live and die NFTY. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, first thing I'm going to do is share the feed on my thing and on the Shireinu project. Please go ahead and do that as well if you are so inclined. We would really appreciate it. How is everyone doing today? How is your Sunday? Anybody know if the Rams actually won or did the Jets pull it off? Who knows? All right. Hello, Mickey. Please say hi, everyone. Say hi. We'd love to say hi to each other. Say hi to me. I'd love to see you. We're going to get ready to have a good time singing Jewish music today. Jewish music. I know we've gotten a lot into the secular music, but we're back into the Jewish music scene because why shouldn't we be? We got to sing the songs that we grew up with, because those are the ones that bring us nostalgia. Those are the ones that keep us coming back. All I know is I'm really thrilled and excited. Let's see everybody who's signing on. I know we have some viewers, so please say hello. Type it in the comments. We want to see you. We want to recognize you. Hello, Rabbi Steinberg. Rabbi Steinberg is on Facebook now. That is great. I'm sure he's very good to see you too. I'm sure he's very intrigued about who our special guest is today. So he always is. He gets pretty excited about things like that. All right. Got about 1 minute we're going to give everybody as we sign on. Hello, Cookie. Always happy to see you. Part of my main crew, my SHM Sunday Song Session crew. We should make t-shirts. I think we should do that. Yep, your crew too. That is true, Rabbi. Excellent. Well, everybody, welcome to SHM Sunday Song Session. Today on Sunday, December 30th. I am so glad that you are joining us. I know we're getting into the holiday season. Hanukkah just ended, and there are some other holidays coming up, and the new year coming up, and it is a very busy time, although we should be staying in our homes, and I hope you are choosing to be as safe and healthy as possible. I do also hope that you are able to bring some joy into your lives, and the best way to bring joy into our lives, in my humble opinion, is by singing. Now, I have told all of you that there is a special guest coming to us here at SHM Sunday Song Session, and this person, we brought in some of the best Jewish musicians out there, and this person has never been with us yet on an SHM Sunday Song Session. Known very well for his incredible musicianship. He's also known for extreme, a depth that is really that not many people have. He is able to bring that out of us, and I'm really excited to introduce you to a very special guest this Sunday Song Session. So, we are going to go on gallery view for the big reveal. Here it is. Oh!
It is
Rabbi
good.
Steinberg!
It is good to be here.
Oh, man. Rabbi Steinberg, this is incredible. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I have been wanting to come on Sunday song session for a very long time now. So I'm glad finally to have received an invitation and to have joined you in this special day. Number one, although I am not a well-known musician, I am a lover of Jewish music.
That is exactly right, and which is one of the reasons that you are here, because I think you're going to provide us today, especially with this topic, a really an in-depth, emotional feel, and to this subject. And today we're talking about NFTY's best music. Now, I know you didn't actually grow up in NFTY. You were a BBYO kid, right?
That's true. Just in case anybody doesn't know, NFTY, NFTY, National Federation of Temple Youth. That is the Reform Movement's youth program.
Right.
And then BBYO, which is B'nai B'rith Youth Organization. And my synagogue where I grew up, BBYO was the youth group. So it could have just as easily been NFTY, but for whatever reason, prior to my arrival, it was BBYO. But we sang all the NFTY songs. And of course, NFTY is really known for literally and figuratively producing the movement's music, the reform movement's music, and adopted by not just BBYO, but about USY, which is the conservative movement, the Reconstructionist movement, and even a lot of our Orthodox brothers and sisters in their youth movements. As long as it's not on Shabbat, they'll play the instrumentation and sing the music. So,
yeah, and so growing up, Rabbi, you grew up in the Bay Area. That's correct. Yeah. So you told that great story of Willie McCovey.
That is true.
Yeah, right. That's a good story. I'm gonna remember that one. Was music a major influential aspect of your synagogue life, of your youth group life?
Very much so. You're sitting down, right? You will not believe this. I was in the youth choir for 5 years. For 5 years.
I don't believe it.
And, yes. But as we will do later on in the year, I think in March, we're doing music about classical reform.
Yes, we are.
I grew up in the synagogue that had an organ, and we wore robes, and the rabbi wore a big mitre. The greatest rabbi ever. I loved Rabbi Raskin, may he rest in peace. But we used to sing, with the organ, "May the words of my mouth," and I could go on and on if you'd like.
Well, you know what? I normally say no, but I think this may be the time for you to do it.
All right, I'll just do my favorite one. Is when the Torah, we were done reading the Torah, instead of singing the song that we usually sing, which is
Vizotato.
Right. Exactly. So the rabbi or the cantor used to say, "We thank thee, O our God, for the Torah, which thou gave us unto thy people. May we ever cherish it, guard it, protect it, advance it, for it is our life and the length of our days. Chazak, chazak, venit chazek." And then the organ would go, and I once had that solo in 4th grade.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And I think maybe we should do a reprise of that at another time during a future service.
Yes.
Bring it back. And, that's great stuff. I think I'm also going to write a sermon with just, giveth.
Eyes and thous.
Yeah, eyes and thous. I think it would be a really interesting thing. What do you all think? Should Rabbi Steinberg and I co-write a sermon with giveths and takeths and eyes and vows?
Absolutely.
I think we should. Well,
by the way, Rabbi, Deborah Silverstein was also in her youth choir. So, Deborah, nice. I challenge you to a duet, and perhaps we could jump on the screen sometime and sing together.
A sing-off. I hear it. All right. Well, we're going to get started. Today, we're going to go span all across the decades from music throughout youth group and throughout camp that really inspired us and touched our souls. When we go to camp, when we go to youth group, when we go to temple, there is a nostalgia that comes back, because we always, and I say this often, what is tradition? Well, tradition is what we know. And we remember the tradition from when we were little. Well, this is the song, someone will come up to me, Rabbi, if I had a nickel,
absolutely. Not only the music, Rabbi Zive, I can give you full passages from the prayer book of my youth, the Union prayer book. May the time not be distant. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon this. All right, I'll stop.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I think we should...
Don't get me started.
We should dedicate an entire time to that. Well, for now, I am going to go and sing Dan Nichols. We know Dan Nichols now. B'Tselem Elohim. From the first few words of the book of Genesis in Torah, in the beginning when God created the heavens and the earth. And this was a Nifty favorite, most certainly in the early 2000s, while I was out of Nifty, but it really came to be during that time. So, Rabbi, since you have not been on one of these, you're muted. Great. Okay, good. We all got a life to live. We all got a gift to give. Just open your heart and let it out. We all got a piece to bring. We all got a song to sing. Just open your heart and let it out. Yeah. When I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. We all got a tale to tell. We all want to speak it well. Just open your heart and let it out. We all got a mountain to climb. We all got a truth to find. Just open your heart, let it out. Yeah. When I reach out to you and you to me, B'Tselem Elohim, we become B'Tselem Elohim. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. All right, hear the words of Torah, my friends. Created in God's image, each of us back at the beginning, the first 6 days. Breshit bara Elohim. Breshit bara Elohim. Breshit bara Elohim. All our hopes and all our dreams. Breshit bara Elohim. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Breshit bara Elohim. All our hopes and all our dreams. Breshit bara Elohim. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Let's hear it. Yeah. Yeah. When I reach out to you and you to me, we become B'Tselem Elohim. When we share our hopes and our dreams, each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. Each one of us B'Tselem Elohim. 2, 3, 4.
Amen.
All right.
You cannot underestimate the importance of Jewish overnight summer camp.
Right.
You cannot overestimate it. And I'll say this, I mean, think of that beautiful song, which every camper knows. It's not just teaching music, it's teaching values, right? And
Yeah.
one another. And then those counselors use those values in the dorm rooms with the kids and in the way people interact with one another. It's really remarkable, the transformative nature of the music of Nifty, for sure.
Absolutely. Did you go to a sleepaway camp?
I did not. I was a JCC day camper, but of course we incorporated all of that music. But
that's right.
In BBYO, we went to Camp Swig, many times for our retreats and our conventions and things of that nature.
You know, I found Camp Swig to be one of the most comforting places in general, not only the redwood trees and such flourishing living Judaism at that place, but nothing spells comfort like showering and sleeping right in the heart of the San Andreas Fault. I mean,
Yeah,
it was a unique place. It was a unique place, but my parents went there. I, went there. I mean, Camp Swig was it was the place, and we can't underestimate the power of camp. So, have any of you out there been to a Jewish sleepaway camp? So please let us know in the comments. We got a lot of people commenting today. This is really, really, really great. But now, Rabbi, I have a very random question for you. I know we like to talk about random subjects here. So I've been thinking about something that's very crucial. I don't want to write a sermon on it because it's not really a topic for a sermon. But as I was in the refrigerator the other day looking for something to put on a hot dog, I came across French's yellow mustard.
Okay.
And I love yellow mustard. I mean, I think yellow mustard is the right condiment. We have talked all about this and condiments on SHM Sunday Song Session. But really what caught my eye was Mr. French. Mr. French. Now,
well, one time I opened the refrigerator and the Thousand Island looked at me and said, "Shut the door, I'm dressing."
Ah! Oh!
I'm here all night.
Oh, that's pretty good. But Mr. French's, I don't understand why this guy, who looks like the Monopoly guy, with the mustache and everything, why in the world is he the mascot of French's mustard? He's not even yellow. Like, I get Mr. Peanut.
Right.
He's a peanut.
You
Why
would
him?
think he'd be more appropriate for Grey Poupon.
Grey Poupon? Yes.
Right?
Yeah, see, you can go... Pardon me. Do you have any Grey Poupon? I mean, who doesn't remember that?
Absolutely.
It's great stuff. Are you a yellow mustard or a deli mustard?
I'm a yellow mustard on most things, and a few things a deli mustard. Like pastrami has to have deli mustard.
But no, what about the mustard with the seeds in it? Like the...
No,
yeah.
That's not appropriate.
It is. Oh, it could be for some. Don't yuck somebody's yum. That's not the right thing to do. But the fact is, I think every single part of good marketing, every single object, every single product has their shtick. It just kind of has their thing to it. And for some reason, Mr. French's is that. Right? Were you going to say something?
Yes. Well, what do you think SHM's shtick is?
Kindness.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Making meaning.
I like it. Memory.
Memory.
Mensch making. Speaking of which.
Yeah, speaking of... Oh, boy. All right, thank you for making your appearance. That was...
We used
food color. That's great.
Icing.
All right, good. Wonderful. All right, never a dull moment.
I think it's time for a song. And
I think it is time for a song. But, where I was going with this... was about that every song has its shtick that kind of becomes the thing that is representative of the particular product. And so there is a song written by Debbie Friedman called Not by Might. Song we just sing it all the time on Hanukkah because it is technically a Hanukkah song coming from the book of Micah. And it is... she didn't particularly like shtick, adding in those little extra ooh-ahs and, whatnots. However, it still...
She could discipline you in the middle of a concert.
She would stop her concert. and it was brilliant. But she also believed that the song was at its purest when it was sung at its purest. And so, although the shtick that made this song increasingly popular wasn't so much kosher in her mind, it became kosher in the minds of nifty kids and camp. So this is Debbie Friedman's Not by Might. And please, sing along, clap your hands. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone. Ruach shall we all live in peace. For example, that's one thing she didn't like. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, Ruach, shall we all live in peace. Clap your hands and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The children sing la da da da, the children dream all, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, Ruach, shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by power, shalom. Not by might nor by power, but by spirit.
Yes, that is an important message.
It is. It is. So, Rabbi, you already gave us a little bit of insight into how you grew up and why. But why was it that music became so influential in your rabbinate? When, I mean, let's be real, you could have gone and become a cantor. All right. So, as I said, let's be real. But I mean, no, but really, you love music so much, and it really is an integral part of your rabbinate. Even though you may not sing it all the time publicly, it is. So how did this camp music, this nifty music, do that for you?
Thank you for those words. It's really simple to me. I mean, at the end of every youth group event, or sometimes at the beginning or sometimes both, stand around in a circle. The song leader would be in the middle with a helper holding the candle and the spices and the wine. And you would really try to get next to the person you had the crush on, so that, you know, you were having the time of your life, connecting, socializing, all through the vehicle of Judaism, and even more importantly, music. And I'm not a crier much, but even as teenagers, it was kind of cool at 16, 17 years old to cry in those, we called them friendship circles. Right. And it just blew me away. And I have never lost that feeling. I have that feeling at services all the time. So much so that even when I'm on vacation, generally I go to services wherever I'm at, because that music fills me. And the last thing I would just say, Rabbi Zive, is that I love giving sermons. I hope people enjoy hearing sermons, but music communicates to the soul in a different way than the spoken word, and maybe on a deeper level. And I learned that from a very young age, and it's very, very powerful.
Yeah. Well, so next Shabbat we'll trade spots, and I'll give the sermon, and you will sing the anthem.
Why not? We thank you, our God, for the Torah which thou gavest unto thy.
Why is it that our attendance went down to 4 people on Shabbat services? I don't understand. Our families are there. That's great. Well, wow, a lot of people that I'm seeing on here went to camp, and Hess Kramer and Swig. I mean, this is great stuff. Day camp, and wow, really cool stuff.
It's transformative. We know, I mean, just the research from the 1990 Jewish Population Study, 2000, 2011, proves 4 things encourage Jewish soul: Jewish summer camp, Jewish day school, synagogue involvement, and a team trip to Israel.
That's right.
Those 4 things inculcate a Jewish soul into a child. And I think we do our part pretty darn well at.
Absolutely. I agree. And so one of the people who really changed the lives of and the trajectory of Jewish music, especially during the later part of the 1990s into the 2000s, was of course Dan Nichols, but Rick Recht was also somebody who really transformed. This was a secular musician, grew up in the United Synagogue youth program, United Synagogue in St. Louis, Missouri, but really transformed everything by putting this band sound, a full rock experience, I guess you would, into Judaism and Jewish life and Jewish camp and youth group. And so his gig began touring Jewish summer camps and touring to NFTY events. And that was what he did. He didn't have a set congregation. And that's something very unique. I liked touring myself, but it wasn't... I happened to enjoy being at one solid congregation to have that community. But something was very special about Rick Recht in that form. And one of his main pieces was his Hine Matov. And it got those people to put their arms around each other. And it's just, you hear that song and your arms went up. And that was that. And that was Friendship Circle. So this is Rick Recht's Hine Matov, and we sing it at Temple a lot, so please feel free to sing it with us. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Thank you, Rick Recht.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful song. I love beginning Shabbat with that. I don't know, it kind of sets the mood in a very beautiful way. Rabbi Zive, tell us how music influenced you specifically in youth group and camp and NFTY in particular.
Well, so I fell in love with Jewish sleepaway camp, and the song leaders were the ones that kind of reeled me in. The friends were great, but what made our friends come closer together was when we were jumping around, singing and clapping, and it was brilliant. I mean, everything we did at camp and in youth group as well, it infused music into it. So, we're sitting at home, right? And we sing, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. At camp, we did this whole other big, Baruch el asher bara, mazon lakol letova v'libracha, v'anachnu bameh, nodelo la 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 la. Right? And so it infused in everything we did. There was a piece of music. And when I was looking at song leaders in particular, now some of you may not know this, but I am a control freak. No, not at all. Rabbi, you knew what you signed up for when you hired me, but I'm a control freak. I like things in a certain way. I have very strong opinions about things, and so the thing that I loved about our song leaders was that they were able to manipulate your emotions of a large group with their song and their leadership. And I don't mean manipulate in a bad way, in a negative way by any means. But there was something about that Rick Wrecked song, right? Where they could get singing and you put your arms around it. And I was really drawn to that power of being able to maybe influence is a better word, to influence a group.
Well, I'm going to take it even one step further. If we look at the ills of society today, I believe a lot of the problems we have are from what we call alienation. People feeling alone and not part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
These events and these youth groups and congregations have a way of making people feel like they matter, that they are worth something, that they're valued because it's true. And what's the best vehicle to do that? It's music.
Yeah.
We all sing together. I mean, you Rabbi Zive did this so beautifully. Cantor Schickler did this so beautifully, is you get people to sing with you. I mean, we've introduced a lot of new music over the last couple of years purposefully, but people are really joining in now and really singing in. And that creates community, and it sends the message that you are part of something, something bigger than yourself. You are not alienated, you are connected.
Yeah.
And that really means something.
And so as we do that, something, and I'm not knocking classical Reform Judaism, Rabbi, so please don't take it as...
No, I'm with you.
But what I'm saying is that the cantors, the old Chazanut, especially in the Golden Age, glorious to listen to, but that's what you were doing. You were listening. And they were singing at you rather than singing with you. And there is something of such value, and that's what music was able to do. Because, I don't ever remember at Camp Swig going home. Well, I shouldn't say that, because now that I'm thinking about it, I did. But, I don't remember being like, oh, do you remember that one educational program that we did? Oh, do you remember that art project we all did together? I do remember an art project. That's why I said that. But it was always the song sessions and the Shabbat song sessions. And at Goldman Union Camp in Zionsville, Indiana, Dan Nichols started off song leading there. And he and Rabbi Ron Klotz wrote this blessing as an opportunity for thanking God for giving us the opportunity to repair the world. And did you know that every single morning, the entire camp gets up around the flagpole at a brutally awful hour, and over the speaker, they'll say, Hakshivu, Hakshivu na, Hakshivu, Hakshivu na. Attention, everybody, go to the flagpole. Time to wake up. And so they went to the flagpole, and they would sing this song and then Modeh Ani together. So I thought I would introduce this, because this was NFTY's, not just a hit, this was the hit of NFTY, and it is that blessing L'Takin.
By the way, before you begin, your mother commented that you're not a control freak at all, so not to worry.
All right, Mother, thank you. You always told me the congregant is always right.
That's correct. That's correct.
She'll get a phone call afterwards. So you may think, my friends, that words that don't have any meaning, it's kind of just gibberish. Well, nigunim, the words na na na, have more meaning than you can imagine. They're words that everybody can sing to come together. And so this is what Dan Nichols did with Rabbi Ron Klotz and made NFTY come to life. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Shenatan lanu הזדמנות לתקן את העולם. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. And as I think about it, and as I just sang that song, the Nana song, also known as Litakein, how often do you wake up, Rabbi, and the very first thing that you say is, I'm gonna go out and make this world a better place? I mean, like Stuart Smalley, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me, right? We may think it, but I don't like stand in front of the mirror and say that to myself, like, go get him, Turbo.
You just made the argument for why prayer is important.
Right.
Not to convince us, but just simply to remind us and to fill up the engine to go out into the world. And whether it's Modeh Ani, thanking God for waking up. There's even a prayer, I think maybe you talked about this, that thanks God that our body works the way it should. And we say it after we go to the bathroom in the morning.
Yeah.
I kid you not. But there's a blessing because we ought to take nothing for granted, and how much the more so when so many people are ill, to be grateful for our health.
Yeah, I would say it as it's an extreme intentionality. There is such intention in that. There's beauty in that song and that prayer, because how amazing as a camp community, as a NFTY community, to have the first thing you say as a community when you wake up, a blessing, thanking God for making the world better. That we have that opportunity, that's music.
Amen.
That's NFTY's best.
Amen.
It's something really, really cool. Now, the next song I'm going to sing right now is actually one that I wrote, and I haven't sang it in probably 10 years. And at Camp Newman and through NFTY in the Southern California and Central West, this was actually a huge hit for a few years. And, we were talking about shtick. So I wanted to there wasn't a lot of music to Psalm 97. Hari'u ladonai kol haaretz, shout out songs of praises to God. And so I felt like I wanted to write a melody with this. And so I decided to write this melody. And at first, let me play it how it's supposed to be played, and then I'll share with you the funny story about this. So this is how the chorus goes. Hari'u ladonai kol haaretz, Hari'u ladonai kol haaretz. So what's funny about that is that the original way I wrote it, now this was before I thought about becoming a rabbi. This was long before I was really heavily involved in Jewish communal life. I wrote this piece as Hari'u la'adonai, and that's not correct Hebrew. And at camp, somebody said, it was a faculty member of some sort. I believe it was, now I am totally forgetting the name of this rabbi's name. Anyways, he said to me, you're not saying the Hebrew right, and if you want your song to go places and make a difference, you need to make sure your Hebrew is right. And it really was startling, and he said, it's not La Adonai. If you notice, and he went into this whole grammatical conversation about it, and he says it's Ladonai. Hari'u Ladonai kol haaretz. Shout out praises to God and all the world. And so I've already taught them the song, right? And this is at our top 5. We did a top 5, a running top 5 every single Saturday night, and they would vote. All the campers, all the cabins would vote for their favorite song, and that would be the top 5. The Nana song always was number 1. Mine was always number 2 for a good 2 or 3 years. And I had to get up there and really eat it and say, folks, we have to relearn this song, right? And so I taught them, so we don't want to say la too quickly. We need to put what we would call a rest in music. So, Hari'u ladonai. And so the CITs took, the CITs at camp, those seniors in high school, It's like a shark in water with blood. They will smell weakness any chance they get. And so they do a shtick on Saturday night where they do they act out some sort of skit. And they redid their whole skit for the next Saturday night and added this in and did a whole thing on me and did, all right, everybody, let's get up. We're going to sing this song right. Get your Hebrew right. Hari-u, awkward pause, Ladonai. And so now a part of that shtick, awkward pause, became the big thing in NFTY. So if anybody wants to get a laugh out of me, awkward pause is the way to do it. But at least I'm singing the song right.
That is a great story. I'm happy to explain the biblical grammar behind the reason there's a shva under the lamed, but that's a different song session.
Okay, so how about I just sing the rest of that song?
I love it.
All right. There we go. Hari-u, Ladonai, kol haaretz. Hari-u, Ladonai, kol haaretz. Oh, 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 oh. Hari-u, Ladonai, kol haaretz, kol haaretz. Hari-u, Ladonai, kol haaretz. Pitzu v'ranenu, pitzu v'ranenu, pitzu v'ranenu. Hari-u, Ladonai, kol haaretz. Hari-u, Ladonai, kol haaretz. Kol haaretz. Kol haaretz. Awkward pauses and all.
It's fantastic. Rabbi Zive, you really, you embody the spirit of what Jewish music can do. And you should feel, as I know you do, proud about that because, you know, again, while we understand the Hebrew and a lot of people do, even if you don't, you can sense the spirit of the music and of the song. And you just have a superb talent of translating that in your voice, in your musicality, but even more in getting people to sing with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really mean that.
I really love it. I mean, Jewish music is beautiful. I know, you know, and it's giving people some insight, you know, and you and I have talked about this very much. This is not a private, necessary conversation, but as I went into rabbinical school, and a lot of people don't know, I've actually known Rabbi Steinberg for, I mean, longer than I've been here. It's probably been a good 6-7 years now, almost 6 years.
4 years of rabbinical school and then 2 years, yes.
Yeah, about 6 years. And, you know, I was really into this whole idea of study, gotta be the rabbi. Rabbi is what it's all about, and really pushed the musical side kind of away all throughout rabbinical school. I sang, sure, but really didn't feel like it was influential. And we've had many conversations about the fact that music is one of the most complementary, beautiful parts to your rabbinate. And we've really worked at that to show that music can be that part. And I still do all the rabbinic things, and I love it. And I don't regret that decision even an ounce. But there's something special about that, you know?
The running joke is that just like a pitcher who can hit is a rabbi who can sing, right?
There you go.
It's such a beautiful way to bring forth our tradition and our faith and our joy, really. And even, you know what, our sadness. I mean, whether it's Kol Nidre, the heaviness of that, or at a funeral, singing the 23rd Psalm, whatever it might be. I mean, there is power in music beyond what I think anybody realizes. And the name of our congregation is so appropriate, Shir HaMa'alot. Every time we sing together, we ascend.
That's right. That's right. So, on that note, Rabbi, do you dream?
Way more than I'd like to. I'd like to sleep a little more soundly.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course I dream.
I think it's safe to say that you and I and Rabbi Apollo, you know, we get together, the three of us, and we always dream of what could be. We don't ever want it just to be as is, right? We dream big, right?
That is true.
And there is a song that was huge in the NFTY world, really around Sukkot time, in the time of the harvest, and it is called "Dreamer," and written by Lori Wyatt, who I actually really don't know any more of her music, but this was a huge song, and so you might remember it. Probably written, I would say, in the late 60s, early 70s, and it is still one of the bigger ones today. So this is Dreamer. For our hands are strong and our hearts are young, and the dreamer keeps on dreaming ages long. Keeps on dreaming along. What do we do when we needed corn? We plowed and we sowed till the early morn. What do we do when we needed corn? We plowed and we sowed till the early morn. For our hands are strong and our hearts are young, and the dreamer keeps a dreaming ages long. Keeps a dreaming along. Ba-da-da-dum. Keeps a dreaming along. What do we do when we needed a town? We hammered and we nailed till the sun went down. What do we do when we needed a town? We hammered and we nailed till the sun went down. For our hands are strong and our hearts are young, and a dreamer keeps a dreaming ages long. Keeps a dreaming along. Ba-da-da-dum. Keeps a dreaming along. What do we do when it's peace that we want? When it's more than a person can build or plant? We'll gather our friends till the edge of the earth to lend a hand in its hour of birth. We'll plow, we'll sow, we'll hammer and we'll nail. We'll work all day till peace is real. Israel?
Stick.
For our hands are strong and our hearts are young, and a dreamer keeps a dreaming ages long. Keeps a dreaming along. Ba-da-da-dum. Keeps a dreaming along. Keeps a dreaming along. Keeps a dreaming along. Do you know that one?
I remember it. I don't remember the words, but I certainly remember it. And it's so interesting, and I don't know if you have a thought on this, Brian, but why so many secular folk songs became part of the camp experience. If I Had a Ham or Cats in the Cradle, I mean, just really have nothing to do with camp, but they're just...
Because, well, two reasons. They're, I use this word, sing-alongable.
Yes.
And...
Is that a verb?
More of an adjective, I think.
Yes.
But I think what they do more is that, you know, so when all of this contemporary music began to shift, it was brought on by social change and the ideas of what is happening in the world and how can we influence this in our lives today. And many of those songs, If I Had a Hammer and Lean on Me, I mean, all of these songs represented coming together as a community to make the world better.
It's so true. I mean, today I knew I was the special guest, so I went to the NFTY chord store and was looking up some music. And so Joelle and Abby talking about the circle game, Allison Kramsky, Feeling Groovy, Leaving on a Jet Plane. I mean, they were all in this chord store because it's just part of the experience.
Totally. And thank you, everybody, for chiming in on that circle game. 59th Street Bridge song. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, these are so, I love the hand motions for this. It's great. I mean,
Charlie on the MTA.
Yes, Charlie on the MTA. Absolutely.
Do you know Hagelina Magalina? I don't think that's a folk song. That's just
I don't know that one.
Hagelina Magalina, Hutensteiner, Waltenbeiner, Hogan Fogan, Logan was her name. She had 2 hairs in her head. One was alive and the other was dead. Hagelina Magalina, Hutensteiner, Waltenbeiner, Hogan Fogan, Logan was her name. She had 2 teeth in her mouth. One pointed north while the other pointed south.
Oh, that's great.
It goes on and on.
That is great. I don't know that one. Man, there's just, Dan Nichols really inspired me to love Pete Seeger, who is the song leader of all song leaders. I mean, he was capital S song leader, and he could get anybody to sing and sing together with him, and then he could just stop playing and they would all keep singing. And so Dan got me into folk music. And just great stuff, Little boxes, little boxes, little boxes full of ticky-tacky, little boxes, little boxes, little boxes, just the same. There's a blue one and a green one and a purple one and a yellow one. Yeah, it's great stuff. And it just goes on and it's all repetitive. And so that, it's just another answer to your question, know? It's so good. Okay, I have another very serious, life-changing question.
Bring it on.
Okay, this is one you'll have to think about. We talked about yellow mustard. We talked about the weird texture of the mustard with the seeds in it. Is there a particular food that you happen to enjoy that is just a pain in the tuchus to eat?
Do you mean a pain in the tuchus? Because it's
no, not that way. No. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
The older I get, the harder it is to eat anything. My digestive system doesn't tolerate it. But
next week, we're going to be talking about going to the proctologist, ladies and gentlemen. Come and enjoy.
Oh, boy. Well, I love all food. I could eat popcorn from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. But it's a little bit challenging on the teeth sometimes. I could eat licorice until the day, but that gives me a tummy ache. It's like
you're either a black licorice fan or you're not, and there's not. Do you ever chew blackjack gum?
No.
Blackjack gum is a black licorice gum.
Oh wow.
Oh, I know what I'm getting you.
I did not know that.
For your birthday coming up.
I used to eat Hubba Bubba. That was
okay. Hubba Bubba. So my favorite thing to actually eat that I think is challenging to actually eat, one of those foods that you just, I don't want to eat the orange because I don't want to peel it, are pomegranates.
Pomegranates, yes.
Whoever the ad wizards were behind the pomegranate, really? It is such a pain to eat, but so delicious. I would go almost every day walking home from HUC in Jerusalem and would just pull pomegranates off of people's trees. It maybe wasn't moral, but it was delicious. And I just recognized how hard it was to eat. Well, the reason I am mentioning said pomegranate and talking about this is because in music, there are songs that are very challenging to sing that a lot of people will just give up on, and a lot of people, like NFTY kids, will continue to sing, even if they're hard, right? So they'll eat that pomegranate till the cows come home, but Do you see where I'm going with this?
This is a transition and a half, but it's good. I like it.
Yes, do you? Because it's a little bit of a stretch, I think.
Pomegranates, by the way, of course, very Jewish,
Mm-hmm.
in that they say if you open the pomegranate, it has 613 seeds in it, which is the exact amount of mitzvahs we have in the Torah.
Yes.
And before we sing, we should just give a shout out to all the song leaders in our congregation, like
Lauren Greenberger.
Absolutely, amen to Lauren. We're so proud of her, and so many others growing up in our congregation.
You bet. You bet. They keep it going. It's great stuff. All right, this song, Hoshea. Hoshea, Hoshea, Hoshea. Quite hard to sing. Written by Dan Nichols, but is one of NFTY's best songs. It means Hoshea et Amecha. Hoshea, like help, right? Save, help your people, right? Save your people, right? Uvarech, and bless et nachalatecha, and like give them in your, bless them with your inheritance type thing. Ureim v'nasem, and then exalt them forever. Ad ha'olam, forever and ever. And so this is a really beautiful song, and really powerful. And you start off slow and then it builds up. And so this is Hoshea by Dan Nichols. Hoshea, 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 et amecha, amecha, amecha. Hoshea et amecha, Hoshea et amecha. Hoshea, Hoshea, Hoshea. Hoshea, Hoshea, Hoshea. Et amecha, amecha, amecha. Hoshea et amecha, Hoshea et amecha. Hoshea, Hoshea, Hoshea. Uvarech, uvarech et nachalatecha. Ho, ho. Uvarech, uvarech et nachalatecha. Ho, ho. Rain, 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 v'nasim. Rain, 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 v'nasim. Rain, 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 v'nasim. Ad ha'olam. Ad ha'olam. Ad ha'olam. Ad ha'olam. And an abrupt ending.
Wow.
At that. Isn't that a powerful song? Now imagine that going on for 15 minutes.
And around, I'm sure. And
yes.
and it just lifts the spirit.
I know. It's so powerful what Jewish music can do, and NFTY specifically. Because as you said, and I keep going back, I was thinking a little more about that, how there is a I don't know how to say it, but it's like, it's a negative connotation, and it's not right that, guys shouldn't cry, because I cry. I mean, I don't agree with that connotation, but, we have to be strong, and we have to be manly, and at NFTY, all of that goes out the window.
Yeah.
And, even singing, we have so many people who say, I don't like to sing. And you don't want to hear me sing, and I respect that. That's cool. Some of us have more talent than others. But, as I always say, there's no such thing as I can't sing. It's just I won't sing. And if you don't want to sing, that's okay. However, at NFTY, everybody sang. And it didn't matter where your voice was, because it was about the act of doing it together.
Absolutely. I just remember from my time at camps, when I was there for the weekend, Shabbat was always the most special. That's where you felt that power more than any other time and dressing in white and coming to the Moadon, the big room where we had services, so powerful. And I just was thinking about it as you were talking. How do adults get that experience? Well, coming to services for sure, but let me invite you to come to the biennial convention of the URJ, which is the Union for Reform Judaism. And they get 4,000 to 5,000 Jews, 6,000 Jews sometimes, and to celebrate with Reform Jews a Shabbat in those kind of numbers, you will understand the power of the emotion that Rabbi Zive is talking about here.
And furthermore, all of the people who wrote these songs are the ones actually performing them.
Yeah.
I mean, there is something, I mean, it is so cool. It is one of my favorite things to do, and I would definitely encourage you to come with us to a URJ biennial when they're all back up and running again, because it is, there is nothing like Jewish music. It is second to none.
Okay.
There. Concerts. Awesome. Yep.
I love that.
I agree. Rabbi, we're just about out of time. I can't even believe it. It's 5 o'clock. And so we have to, we're going to do one more song here, but I love that you talked about Shabbat, and I love that you talked about camp, because song sessions are really the epitome. It's the pinnacle of the week for most places. Usually the songs that are chosen go in what we would call an arch. Right? So you start off slow, and then it reaches its peak and then comes back down again. And you can only imagine, remember we talked about emotional manipulation? That's how you do it. Through that prayer arch and song arch. And so at Camp Swig and Camp Newman, for example, there's 600 people jumping and dancing and clapping to the same beat, all in the same place. At Goldman Union Camp, they had the same exact song session for 15, 20 years. You knew what to expect coming in. And there was something, and instead of having an arch, theirs went like this. Right? I mean, it just started off big. But there is something inherently cool. And this song, I would put it at the really high point. And it embodies NFTY and embodies camp. And it is light is sown for the righteous, gladness for the upright heart. Psalm 97, Or Zarua. And this was Jeff Klepper. And this was one of the songs that was fast, but then you could slow down to get everybody to transition into that circle. So this is the final song we're going to be singing today for NFTY's Best. Jeff Klepper and Dan Freelander's Or Zarua. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Ul yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Ul yishrei lev simcha. La 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 la. La 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 la. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Ul yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua la tzadik ul yishrei lev simcha. Ul yishrei lev simcha. La 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 la. If you're with somebody put your arms around them. La 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 That is a great, great, great song, and you saw how it came down again and could bring everybody back and get them centered again. So incredibly cool. Rabbi Steinberg, thank you.
My pleasure. I hope you'll have me back again.
I hope we will too. I hope you are willing. I know where to find you. This has been really, really wonderful. Thank you to our special guest, Rabbi Rick Steinberg, our senior rabbi at SHM. And just to give you a couple of heads up, this is the last Sunday song session of 2020. And we are going to move on to 2021 and hopefully better and healthier times. And Sunday, January 3rd, Eddie Stevens is going to be on, just Eddie, not me, but Eddie, woo, doing songs for the new year. So tune into that. This coming Wednesday night, Adult Music Experience continues with a member of our music faculty, Gary Gould, who's going to be doing a whole session on the Jewish giants of jazz. It is going to be an awesome, so if you like jazz music, you will love this thing. And of course, the SHM Music Academy winter trimester is ready and up and running and getting ready to start. Registration is now available. You can go to the Temple website and sign up, and there are links on Facebook and all over the place. And your thought for Shabbats, find it there. 3 great classes to take. Please sign up and free for SHM members.
Rabbi, I'd like the last word. And if we're ready for the last word, are we ready for the last word?
Only if it's one.
The last words are that 2020 has been a really tough year. And you and the faculty you've put together and through your hard work have brought so much comfort to so many people that we're all really appreciative. And this gives me an opportunity to just give you a big shout out, a thank you for your presence, your spirit, your music for sure, but the teaching and the love and the warmth that comes through that music and through those teachings is really enters the heart. We hear from our Talmud that the words from the heart enter the heart. And you've done that really well, Brian, over these last many months.
Thank you.
And I could not be more grateful. And I think I speak for everybody online who feels as I do. So thank you
that's
so very much.
Kind. Thank you. We're all in it together. We've said that from the start. My friends, if I don't talk to you beforehand, a happy, healthy new year and a much better 2021 on the horizon. Rabbi, we're going to sign off of Facebook, but hang on, we're not going to sign off of Zoom. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember, keep singing.